back in front of the camera once again. How's everybody doing? Rick here once again, and today I have a certain topic that I would like to speak on. That it was, again, I know I don't want people to think like all you're doing is taking topics other people are talking about and saying the same shit over again. It's not what I'm really trying to get at here, but I'm gonna say this video that this person made was a fantastic video. I'm gonna leave a link down in the description down. It was a video by IIJERiiCHOII. If you guys don't know who he is, he started kind of back, not like exactly when this whole community started, but a little bit after that. He was just made funny ass videos, and he's a really cool guy. I've actually talked to him before on the One Bar Rage Quit that I did with Ivan a long time ago, and he's a really cool guy. And he made a video today about showing your parents your YouTube, and I guess necessarily this could work for anybody that's close in your life, your YouTube, that wouldn't necessarily understand it, more so your parents. And he was touching on some subjects that were mainly saying that, like, if you want to get your parents, and if you're feeling weird about it, like if you don't know, like, hey mom, but yeah, I make videos of me doing elite sniping and quick scoping. You want to see them? No? Fuck. That what he was getting with that is, if you want to, because it's a really weird thing, like video games and old people don't necessarily mix. Me, myself, my dad, as weird as this sounds, he played a little bit of StarCraft back when I was a wee lad, and that's really weird. And he's more of an older father than a younger one, I guess, whatever I'm getting at here, but he's an old dude, and he played StarCraft back in the day when it first came out, so I was kind of inclined into video games. But normally parents don't see video games as like a good hobby for your kids to have that will lead them in a successful and a good route in their life. Now, for the whole YouTube thing, is what he was getting at, is they see it, your parents will probably see it as is generally, is that it'll be a waste of time and you don't know why you're doing it and it's stupid or whatever. Now, the thing that he was saying is just put it into a spectrum of how relatable it is to stuff like, say, with sports, and how it's actually going to be somewhat relevant in the near future with video games, and how they keep getting more and more popular. Like, gaming in our society today is more of a norm than it was, say, 10 years ago, to where if you played PC games, I want to say 10 years ago, if you played PC games, you were considered a geek, a weirdo. You're like, oh, that guy sits around and plays his weird computer games all day. Nowadays, people are playing Counter-Strike Go on the fucking PS3, and they're like, oh my god, where the hell does this game come from? It's amazing. So, gaming now in our society is becoming more of a norm. Like, I hate to do this, but Call of Duty definitely helped with it. But the newer generations of systems that make online gaming a lot more easy is kind of what propelled it into that level of being not as weird. But he was saying is that try to put it into a spectrum for them that'll make it more relatable. Be like, oh yeah, well, I can see where you're going. You have people from all over the world. You're meeting people, practicing social skills and all that. Now, what he was getting at is build them up to that and show them, and it'll be all good. And, well, for the most part. Now, the thing that I was kind of wanted to touch on is showing your parents or guardians or whoever would be the one to have a role in your life where they'd be watching over you or whatever. One thing that he kind of didn't really touch on as much is, and I have this problem with myself, that is my parents, and for the matter of fact, a lot of people, friends in my real life, don't necessarily know about my YouTube channel, mainly because of I just want it to be my little thing where I can portray any personality that I want, and that's it. I don't have to worry about what anybody thinks, because the internet's for the most part completely random. And two, it's just it'd be a really weird feeling, for the fact that by no means do I see this channel as a failure and it's bad, but for the most part I have around 1,000 subscribers, and I might get on an average basis maybe 100 and some change for views, and a few people that comment, so nowhere as near as many technically as I should be having interacting with me, but I'm fine with that. And it's kind of hard for me to go and show my parents, like, hey look, I do this, and they wouldn't be like, oh, this is stupid, but they would see it. It's hard for me to show them something that's somewhat different, and not like, because if you show your parents like, hey, yeah, I make games about Call of Duty and video games, this is cool, right? You don't, like, just because of how video games have been perceived in society as kind of a nerdy thing to do and a waste of time, they'll be like, oh, that's nice. That's just kind of the normal thing to think of video games, like the stereotype. And it's kind of hard for me to go and to be like, yeah, here's my YouTube channel. When for one, I say really random and sometimes profane things. But two, it's hard to show them something that isn't necessarily at the level that I would like. Like, I believe that it would be so much more easier showing them my YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers and a whole group of people. And not saying that I don't appreciate the smaller group of people I have now, but I feel like it would be a whole lot easier to be like, yeah, here's my thousands and thousands of people that interact with me and have the same level of interest and stuff like that, compared to here's these group of maybe 100 people or so that share the same interest. Both are an amazing feat. I didn't think I'd get beyond 2 people that would actually care what I say or how I talk, but that was my problem. Well, not really a problem, but a little criticism that I saw with that whole plan is, for me, if I want to go and show my parents or some of my friends my YouTube channel, for the back of my mind, just subconsciously, the way I think is, oh, well, what if they see me only have like 30 views and no one comments on it and no one cares about the video, and then it could be perceived as a waste of time. And that's kind of the thing with me, where I was like, well, that's, if you can get your parents, like, I don't think my parents honestly would care, and if your parents would care, I mean, it would be normal, because video games, like I said, aren't really looked at as, yeah, you're doing something with your fucking life. And that's the thing where with this YouTube, is that I really see a lot of this could take off and to be like something I wouldn't be surprised at all if this whole little scene sometime in the near future, somewhere down the road, ends up on TV as a broadcast, because it has now become one of the bigger chunks of YouTube. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this whole scene becomes a lot more relevant in our society, I guess. But and one other thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is, because I was looking through the comments in this video, and I kind of saw a common theme of to where, for the people that their parents look down on them making videos, and they're like, yeah, I can only make videos when no one's home, when no one can hear me, or whatever like that. One thing that I did want to touch on is maybe give you a few tips to overcome this, because I do the same thing. Like, if my parents walked in right now, I would just be like, oh, what's up? Yeah. But one tip that I can throw at you is, you can do commentary. Say if you're trying to hide it and be all sneaky with it, is say that you can do commentaries, get your mic, whatever mic you're using, just don't use a toaster to record your voice, because yeah, and say that if for some reason they ask you, what were you doing up there? Why were you talking to yourself? Say you're on Skype. That's not weird. Skype is, if you go on a little Skype thing, there's like 5 billion quadrillion people. Everybody has a Skype. So if they ask you, like, why are you upstairs talking to yourself, do this or that, like, I'm talking on Skype. What do you want me to do? So yeah, that's a little thing that I've always had in the back of my mind. It's like, I don't want to tell them or this. So you're on Skype. And for the main thing, I don't really care if anybody were to find out. But this is kind of just my thing, that I like to have my own little space, my own personality, and just shoot it off straight from the hip, I guess, and have everything put out the way I want it, without other people's thoughts and stuff affecting it subconsciously, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But yes, definitely check out that video. It was a great video. Like I said, I've talked to Tucker Jericho before. He's a really good dude. Go show support on that video. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, and it helps me out a lot. Comment on it, let me know what you guys think. If you make videos and you don't want anybody in your close life to know about them, if you're just up front, you've told your parents and your friends about it, let me know. Comment back, tell you guys what I think, and yeah, see you guys later. Peace.